shagging Carl Walker behind Brian's back. I was called a liar. A lot of people believed me. A lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. She's honest. I mean,
Sure.
there to see that case between John and Piers. No, he's on remand at the moment.
Yeah, I've never noticed some
Emma,
witness.
on my life to God, Emma's spoken on YouTube about that trial, mate. Man, she's going to get a miscarriage. On my life to God, man. She just don't realise it yet, the stupid cunt.
That's what it is. The thick as fuck, lad. To be honest, look, mate, I haven't no chew with like say John Freeman and Davey Eslop and that lad, right? I haven't got no chew with them at all. Said that with Humble myself. And what I'm trying to say to her is, prove me a liar that they didn't want me to be the voice of the North East. Put me on a live with Davey Eslop and tell him to put his hand on a Bible and say that he never said that to Stephen Fate.
So actually, if you were friends, I mean, you were a liar, mate. You know what I mean? But the minute you fall out with them, mate, you're this, you're that, you're everything.
Oh,
I actually wouldn't pay. Not, mate, she knows what you're saying is the truth. She knows what you're saying is the truth 100%. She's just trying to make you out to be a liar for people not to believe it. That's the way she is, man. She's a proper.
Totally agree with you, lads. Totally agree with you. And when you try to step back and try to step into a different direction, they'll use anything for the claim of fame, bro. Like literally a claim of fame, and it's stupid. Ash, why have Ash? Look, ask Irish Bull now, right? Why do I get banned from channels Irish?
You felt, to be honest, look, I've known Ash for a long time on YouTube. People don't like Ash being on their panels because he speaks the truth, straight up, honest to God, and that's not me licking no one's arse. Ash speaks the truth, and people don't like hearing the truth. So, I mean, I know Ash with fucking nearly 5 years since he's been on YouTube. I know Ash for a long time. You know what I mean? Ash has been there from day when I came on. So,
and I've got no alliance with Irish Bull. I've got none of these. I respect the lad from the Apollo days, from the Cesspit days, where it used to be fun.
Yeah, man, it's not fun no more. It's just pure dark.
Even
Apollo picked the bucket.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't like it because I spoke how it was. You know what I mean? Even like with Humboldt Dreyer, I sat with him Irish Bull, right? No word of a lie for 3 hours on Christmas night, and we put all the differences to one side, put it all to bed, and people can't get the fact of I've done that after everything he allegedly done. But if I'm going to come onto YouTube, start roasting and causing a load of shit, well, I'm going to come out and tell the truth. It was all bullshit. It was all bullshit to get it humble. That was in the Apollo days. All shite. All of it shite. And for these to actually run with when I come out and actually started talking about certain things and they all believed it. And then for me to actually say, no, it's a load of shit. I was using you, right, to gain my channel, to gain views, to gain clicks, to actually show what you are actually about, where you can actually sit there and gain information and mislead it and put it out there onto your own channels and thinking that yous are the number ones and yous are going to out him, right? I've always said Irish Bull, and I've done it back in the day with the likes of Apollo, with the Stig, Anton and all that. You're never, ever, ever going to win against Humboldt Dreyer. Fact. 1,000,000%. Doesn't matter who you are, you'll never win against him unless you put him in a box.
I don't think. Yeah, look, I speak to Humble offline fucking a lot. You know what I mean? I do. I speak to them a lot, and yeah, mate. Look, people can say what they want about Humble. Humble's one of the most straightest people you get, man. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You know what I mean? Straight up, he is, man.
And that's where I said, because we were talking about the old days, and he was telling me, look, lad, I've tried sorting shit out for you, but you didn't help yourself. And I'm like, look, John, what I was saying about you, mate, was to get a reaction out of you. Maybe you brought 700, 800, 1,000 people into a live. Well, that was roasting. That was me at my best. That was me thriving. And I said, look, John, I've changed my full life around, lad. I don't need all this dark corner shite. But when I've got someone there who contacted me in jail, her and a pal, and starting to spread rumours or going around on the fake accounts, putting things up, you really think that's bothering me? You've got to think where I started and where I come from. You really think that's going to bother me? No, it's not going to bother me at all. Fact, bro. It's all fact.
You see, when you try to pull away from that, and she tries to keep her foot on your neck by saying you're saying this and you're saying that, and you're a liar, mate. I wouldn't pay no attention to that, mate. Everyone on YouTube knows Emma fat whore is a proper. You know what I mean? Everyone knows what Emma's about. So all she's ever going to try to do is run you down or get down, mate. But
you know what pisses off the most, right, Irish, is right when I'm watching her and Gary Slater, right, Slater, whatever you call him, right, he says that I was going to go and stab her. You really think, in all the whole, I've never ever put a blade to a woman. Never. Never. I know I had the thing
You
with
know
the
that
baseball bat.
what happened, truthfully, was humble me into Emma's campaign. 18
Mm,
months, mate.
yeah.
Everything was going back to humble. I was getting screenshots, what he wanted. I was sending him, I was getting phone calls to her for 2, 3 hours. I was sending him all the information. Straight away, I come off the phone calls. She still don't believe that to this day. I was into your camp for 18 months. The liquor, I did it. I got a bit too close to you, and I had to pull myself away. Fact,
But, but, but,
she can believe what she wants
but put
to do a
this right.
job. I went for it. What he needed, what Humble Driver got, and back, man. And you know what? What he got, he didn't even put out on YouTube to this day. Straight up,
Oh,
you know,
yeah. It's
wanted
like,
the car.
did you ever see the live with her and Sammy Lee and John Silver?
Yeah, man, I seen that. Yeah, I
Right,
seen
so
that
you
one.
seen that. Now, I made her get in touch with them. She never come on. She never started talking to them. It was me that put them in touch. You get me?
And what you trying to say? That he knew it beforehand and all this.
Yeah, they knew him beforehand. They knew all this, that, and the other. But what gets me though, Irish, is right how someone can laugh about someone getting someone sent down, or someone manipulating others, or being a guinea pig. Now, I can see her being a guinea pig. I really can. It's quite sad to see how a couple of years ago you were slating the man that you're respecting at the minute, and then actually sit in his presence when you called him a grass.
And trolled him when he did good at it. Called him a super class.
Mm,
He destroyed him on YouTube. She, as you said, she goes sit with him, then, mate. And no, Emma Cockerill is spouting the hype of shit and bullshit about the Sears for Paddy, mate. She's a spokesman for Paddy Conroy, man. She's a clown.
that's it.
Sooner or later,
That's
she'll find out that.
and that there bull is what you've just said now is what they wanted me to do. Literally.
You see, we're not as retarded as Emma Ash. You know what I mean? We know what to say, not what to say. But when you're good enough to absolutely destroy someone for 2 or 3 years on YouTube, and then you go sit with that person you destroyed. Paddy Conroy is an old school fucking supergrass. He's not that stupid. Let's be honest. Paddy is not that stupid. Paddy knows
But,
exactly what Emma's about.
but let me put this to you, right? Let me put this to you. Why can't Paddy Conroy say the stuff he does on Emma's or Briar's channel on his own channel?
Because he's smart, Ash. That's why he's smart. He
There you
knows what
go.
to say where and when. He's
There you
smart.
go.
But like,
And it's,
look, I actually couldn't give a fuck what way John Henry Sayers' trial goes. I don't know the man. I don't want to know him. But Emma is going around YouTube for the last week or two, mate, and she is saying some serious allegations about John Henry Sayers, man. Mate, when that is brought into the court on the day of the trial and it's given to Heath Lister, mate, for the trial to go back or for a mistrial, mate, trust me,
yeah.
we'll see how
I'll,
much
I'll give
Paddy
it.
Conroy likes her.
I'll
Out
give it
now
an
and Paddy's
insight.
chatting as well.
I'll give it an insight here, right? Of HMP Northumberland, right? So I went into their bull, right? I'm mixing around with the lads. They obviously knew who I was. No mention. Paddy was quite popular. Uh, Danny Decker, myself, and Tony Burkett. Obviously, he was well known. And then I walked on a wing, and there was a bunch of other lads playing snooker. I said, "Oh yeah, boys, what's happening? Can I book on next?" So I'm sat cracking with one. He's asking what you're in for and that. I said, I'm recalled for the YouTubes and that. I said, where you from? I said, I started off by saying, do you know Paul Venice? He goes, oh yeah, I know Venno very well, Venno very well. And I goes, do you know Brian and Emma? Yeah, I used to sell them heroin and crack. You know what I mean? Like,
He
and
said
then
that
I'm
you
on. I said that to me, and then I moved on to another wing, and I'm sat there on basic. I'm fucking bored, don't be. So I started talking a lot of shit down the phone to them. And I'm like, oh, it's a nightmare up here. But when I'm on the wing and out with the lads, they all call Paddy a grass. Even his own nephew, Dylan, called him a grass.
he is a
Gary
grass
Howie,
though. He is a mad.
Gary Howie, who's well known in Northumberland jail, pulled us into his cell. I'm thinking, fuck, what's going to happen here? I said, sit down. Made us a cuppa, because I like it. They knew I like the cuppa. And I'm saying to them, what's the crack in the North East, boys? Because he's a proper Newcastle lads. And they're like, I said, so I started, obviously Dylan Conroy was in there. He's like, he's fucking ruthless, man. You should see him against Decker and Danny. He doesn't give a fuck. And then he said, he's pals with me uncle Paddy. Now, I've never been pals with Paddy in my life. I only come into contact with Paddy this year. And I'm sat there with Gary and I'm saying, I'm gonna start sending them more letters. See if they read them out online. See what shit I can rabble myself. So I wrote them all a
Yeah,
letter, which was,
she sent me 2 or 3 letters that came from the prison to you, and she asked me not to put them on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
well,
sitting, I'll just
her
finish
obviously
this.
clearly.
I'll just finish this. So I'm sat with the lads. I said, we're all playing poker. Played poker for 12 months, and we're sitting around the poker table. And I said, the letter's just been put out. And then obviously, the people behind me are all reading the chats, screenshotting as they do. And it's things that I wanted to know, or things that I knew where channels could get took down if read it out, or manipulation. But I sent them a load of shit. Well, like literally, it was all shite. Not to do with me, just with what I wanted to know about them. And when them two got in contact, now Maria did send money into the jail, as you do when you're in a jail situation. You're grateful, and it just went on poker. And she, I tell you what, there's two sides to Maria. There really is. There's two sides to it. You can either get a nasty side, or you can get a genuine side.
I've seen both of them. Friends with her
Ah,
for a long time. I've seen both of them.
but
She's still a
but
fucking rock tramp.
But when, like, if you ever come across this account, Scotchbird or the Stig, we both know the Stig, and they would tell you that how Emma and Bry slag Maria off like naught else, and tells me about how they had to go fund for a fucking dog and how to get it through the vets, and how they're only staying around with Maria because she's got all the information on the ball case that's pending. And then I'm sitting there thinking the other night, Bull, right, how can they put the windows out on the Ball's house, her, Burkett, and Ellis, and then turn against them, and then send messages to a known woman on here that most of us probably would respect. I'm not going to say her name, and tiddle taddle between Blame and Paddy and Emma. It just doesn't sit right with me. It's like she's getting groomed in her own mind. And
Yeah,
when
she
I'm
likes that.
listening, and he's not asked. As long as he's got clicks and views, or he's doing a Conroy, who's bothered to this man? Like, realistically, like, you tried helping Scotty G. Now, was that going to be me when you were offering me to come to the farm? No, I'm not going to go and sit in this fucking a stinky old fucking shed, or I'm not going to sit there and like collaborate with you in the shed. I'm not your guinea pig. The offer was nice, but no. Like, I've got respect for your mates, like a couple of your mates, his boys. I do respect them. I was in the jail system.
Yeah, Fat Emma
Yeah.
Cockerill was friends with Exposure TV that before Exposure TV started showing his face. She was friends with him on Facebook, and I was on Exposure's live one night and we were talking, and Emma Cockerill was a mod for him, and I got timed out by someone over there, and we came out Exposure, and he was after ringing me up saying, "Oh, this is Expo's real name and this is his picture," and I was saying, "How do you know it's him for 100%?" She was like, "Because I'm friends with him on Facebook. I speak to him." So she was after doxing Exposure TV to me. I was after sending it to Exposure TV. He never replied. I sent him all the proof. He never. She sent Humble Dryer's family on to me for me to put it on YouTube for Paddy Conroy to get a picture of Humble's wife and his son. And Humble didn't believe me till I sent it to Humble as well, mate. Yeah, she's after doxing a lot of good people on
and,
YouTube on my
and,
child's
and, that, and
pictures
that's
and all.
where
People,
I say, Bull, right? I say you're doing all this, but if you got sent down or something happened to you, they're not going to come and back you up. They're really not. They're not going to back you up.
yeah,
And like it's they're not bothered. It's like when you're a drug dealer and you're grafting for someone. They're not asked if you go to jail. They're really not. They're really not asked if you go to jail or if anything happens to you. And this is where I'm saying that you're on a string. You're getting played. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna have to pop back on because a minute. I'll just take this call.